Right, 4.1. We're still in 4.1, Chapter 4, Graphing Linear Equations. And this is going to be about graphing horizontal and vertical lines. So we are still talking about linear equations and graphing them, but this time instead of talking about graphs that have a positive or negative slope, we're going to talk about horizontal. So I'm going to write horizontal means side to side. So horizontal lines look like this, and vertical lines would look like this, up and down, straight up and down. So you could think of horizontal, it has the kind of the word horizon in it. So when you think of the horizon, like when you're looking out at the horizon and you see a sunset, so the word horizon is this horizontal line for the earth, and then vertical is straight up and down. So when we graph horizontal and vertical lines, they look like this. This is what a horizontal linear equation looks. It looks like y equals -3. This is our example, okay? So whenever it says y equals, it's a horizontal line, okay? And it's going to look like this. Try our little axis. Here's my coordinate plane. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I made my little tick marks. This is just a sketch. So if y equals -3, I want to go to the y-axis, and it's not going to be up and down. Even though this axis is straight up and down, you find the -3 on the y-axis because it says y equals -3. So go find the -3, put a dot, and then you could also keep plotting points left and right. And what you will have is the graph of y equals -3. So what that means is y is always -3. That's why it's this straight horizontal line going through -3 on the y-axis, okay? So whether x is 0, y is -3. When x is 1, y is -3. When x is 2, y is -3. When x is -1, y is -3. When x is -2, y is -3, and so on. Y is always -3. Horizontal linear equation. Okay, so let's do an example of a vertical. I'll just write vertical line this time. Vertical line. Here's your example. Our example is going to be x equals 2. So I'm going to draw my quick sketch coordinate plane here. When x equals 2, it means x is always 2. So right here is your clue to go to the x-axis and find the 2 and put a dot on the 2. This is the 2. In fact, I should have labeled up here that this was the -3. Okay, so we found the 2 on the x-axis. Now we're going to go above it and stay right above and below and make that vertical line. So it would look like this. This is the graph of x equals 2. What it means is x is always 2. So when y is 0, x is 2. When y is 1, x is 2. When y is 2, x is 2. Same with the negatives. So if when x is 2, y is negative 1. When x is 2, you get negative 3, negative 4. You can be any negative in the whole wide world, any positive in the whole wide world for that y value, but x is always 2. So when you have a horizontal line, it's going to say y equals. I'm going to highlight that. It's always going to say y equals something. And when it's a vertical line, it's always going to say x equals. So if that's hard for you to memorize, that's where notes come in handy, because you can check back at your notes and say, y equals negative 3 or whatever it may be on your homework. You'll know it's going to be a horizontal line. So I'm going to write a couple of points that it might look like. So this one might look like this. 0, negative 3. These are just example points. You might have 1, negative 3, and you might have 2, negative 3. Notice that the y value is always, oops, I forgot my parentheses, negative 3. For the vertical line, it would look like this. This x equals 2. X is always 2. Y changes. These are examples of what the ordered pairs might look like. So notice that the x value is always 2 and the y value changes.